Coming up on today's Code Bet Daily, we're setting you up for a massive weekend of punting. Oh, yes, we are. We have got player props, game picks, best bets. I'm talking NBA playoffs, a couple of little AFL looks in there as well. Stats guy, what have you got?
I'm looking at Celtic to dominate the Scottish Premiership and the Lakers to finish off the series against the Warriors.
Oh, the Lakers. What about you there, Alex?
The time-honoured donation. This week's the week that it'll get up, and a dominant team in the EPL.
Nice one. Sounds pretty good. So I guess you better listen to the entire show. It is Code Bet Daily. It's really good. Listen to it, please. Welcome to Code Bet Daily. It is Friday, TGIF, am I right? It is May 12th, all day. May the 12th be with you. Episode 108 of this schmozzle here. I am your host, Jaymz Clements. I'm the editor of a very good website. It's called Code Bet. It's what's on the name of this podcast and everything. It's crazy how that works. Either way, I'm joined by the pontiffs of punting. Over there, we've got face scab-free Alex Donnelly, I guess.
Yeah, my face peeling has come off. Apparently, my skin routine of soap and water does work, much to my girlfriend's chagrin. She's like, you need moisturiser, this and that. Nah, soap and water, baby. That's all we need.
Looking good.
Right, yeah. I've got some questions. We've also got Stats Guy fresh from his nana's place.
Yeah, absolutely. Just fresh off a big Celtics win, forcing Game 7. I've just got my breath back. I was very nervous watching that, but yeah, pumped.
Yeah, that game was psycho. This is Code Bet Daily, Code Celtics Daily, I guess, today. I absolutely missed on my picks for that game. So that was.
Oh, did you? Oh, with 30 plus. Everyone was missing. It wasn't a good game on offense at all.
It really wasn't. Anyway, Code Bet Daily, it is what it says on the tin. It's codes, it's betting, it is daily. Today, player props, game picks, best bets. We've already done an AFL show today, so we've got plenty of AFL gear. We did an NRL show yesterday and an EPL show. So for all that stuff, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you're listening to all of those. Today, I'm going to look at the playoffs. I might throw one or two AFL picks in there as well. But yeah, just all the playoff games tomorrow. We've got two massive game sixes. Knockout game sixes, obviously. Two huge games. Can't wait just to prop myself up on the couch and bang through those. Stats guy, what are you looking at in this one?
Looking at the Scottish Premiership, my beloved team Celtic. I've got the kid on today. They're playing on the weekend in the derby, and then the NBA playoffs as well. I'm going to have a quick look at that also.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if that's all right.
Interesting. Cool. If you come with the king, you best not miss. We've got Alex. What have you got?
I enjoyed our stats guy sound really pumped up. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Celtic. Well, I've got the EPL and the donation because it's going to win this week. Get around it.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I might throw my Brisbane multiverse of madness multi in there too, which I really like at the end as well.
Cool.
Right. Player props. Could not mention a game 6 featuring the Golden State Warriors without Game 6. Clay, I'll tell you that much. He had 41 against the Thunder in 2016, 35 against Houston in 2018, 30 against Memphis last year. The last two times he's tried to crank up the old Game 6 Clay, he's
hasn't worked that well, but
not good. Not good. He went, I think, 8 of 20 against Sacramento last round, and I believe went 5 of 20 last year in the finals. But they won that game anyway. So, but Game 6 Clay is a real thing, obviously. The problem is he's been pretty bad the last 3 games in this series. I do like Steve Kerr's like, hey, what am I going to do? Tell Klay Thompson to not shoot?
Yeah.
Like, that's a good point. He's one of the 3 best shooters of all time. I'll pay it. So my play for this tomorrow, 6+ threes for Klay, 30+ points. Let's go. If you want to keep it at that level, it seems at least doable. The problem is they are on the road, and Game 6 Klay, it doesn't really seem to matter where he is, but I would have preferred this if you're at home. This is the problem.
Yeah.
But they are in LA trying to save their season. It's going to have to come from somewhere. It can't be just Steph.
No.
He had 50 in the closeout Game 7 against Sacramento. Klay just has to help. And look, if it's ever going to happen, it's going to be a Game 6. Game 6 Klay, 30+ points, 6+ threes. That's $8.64.
Wow.
Kind of love it. That's with Ladbrokes. Go check it out. There should be like a Game 6 Klay special like across every bookie, but here we are. I really do like that. I think there's a bit of scope for him to step up. He and Steph could force that Game 7. I don't really like their chances. I'll get into that in a second. But Game 6 Klay, that's my player prop. I love it.
Game 6
I'm all over it. Awesome. Another one quickly, AFL gear. I'm just saying, Harry McFive. If you listen to
If we go through a whole season without a Harry McFive.
You have to get like a Harry McFive tattoo or something at some point.
He does it? Yeah, maybe. Depending on how much I've actually put on it. But the price does keep ballooning.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Surprise twist. I believe earlier today when we did the AFL show, you're like, oh, yeah, $17. And you're like, yeah. So he does love Marvel. If you just want to really just...
You'll get it eventually.
$17. I love a good Harry McFive.
It's probably going to come up against like when you play West Coast or North Melbourne again, surely.
100%. There's a pretty good chance that actually does happen there. But anyway, there's my player props. Game 6, Clay. Love that. For Heat Knicks, it's real. Like this series has been really tough outside of my Brunson picks. I've nailed those time and time again. I don't really want to lean on that though because they're in Miami. You just don't know what's going to happen in that game. So Brunson's gone for 25 plus, 30 plus a bunch of times in that series already. It's just very tough to predict what's going to happen in an elimination game on the road there. So I'm going to steer clear, I think, with the player gear there. Stats guy, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at the Scottish Premiership. Celtic taking on Rangers, which is the big old firm derby, probably one of the biggest rivalries in sport in the world. Celtic are coming fresh off the title win. They've officially won the title with, I think it's like 5 games left. Ange Postecoglou, the Aussie manager's got them absolutely firing. When he first got signed, they were saying he'll be done by Christmas. All the locals were booing him, and now he's a god in Scotland. He's pretty much runs the joint, so he's been awesome. And a big part of that has been Jota, the Portuguese winger, who's definitely a class above the Scottish Premiership. I think he should be in the Premier League or something, but he signed these big contracts at Celtic, and we've just kept him all season. He's been unbelievable. He's got 23 goal contributions this season. He can dribble around any player, any defence. Rangers are the second best team, but he's scored in the last 2 times he's played against Rangers and just loves scoring in the big games. Celtic were horrible in the Champions League, but he actually scored 2 of our 3 goals in the Champions League. So he just loves scoring in these big games, loves scoring in the derby. I think he's got 4 goals in his career against Rangers in about 7 games or something, which is unbelievable. Yeah, as I said, he can score from long range, dribble around defenders. He can do it all. Rangers also have a really tall defence. He scored just 2 weeks ago against Rangers by dribbling around some players, then got some space, passed it off, got it back, and got a header. So he can score on both feet. He can score a header. Might even do a scissor kick or something. He's an absolute freak, Jota. So get on him for $3.60 anytime goal. Yeah.
I mean, freak for the Scottish League.
Freak for the Scottish League. He's definitely one of those players that I think he sort of chased the money a little bit. He could easily be playing in the Premier League or things like that. That's why he's absolutely dominating.
All right, so do a flip.
Do a flip and kick a goal.
Thanks, Bender.
Nice one. All right, Alex, what's your player prop?
I'm looking at soon-to-be Tottenham's least favourite son, Harry Kane, because he's definitely going to leave them in the next couple of months.
They've said that for years.
No, he's 100%. This summer, he has to leave. That's going to be my podcasting all off-season. Harry Kane has to leave. Anyway, they take on Aston Villa, that they being Tottenham this weekend at Villa Park. Just of note, we tipped Tottenham to win this game. Well, I did. I tipped Tottenham to win this game yesterday. You tipped Aston Villa, stats guy.
I did, yes.
Yes. Tottenham's record at Villa Park in the last 10 years, 15-1-3. Against Aston Villa in the last 10 years. They've lost 3 times in a grand total of 19 games. It's a ridiculous record.
That's amazing.
Harry Kane, though, Tottenham are the betting underdogs in this. I couldn't believe that. He scored at least 1 goal in 8 of Tottenham's last 9 EPL matches when they've been betting underdog. Well, that kind of tracks given he's such a freak.
Yeah.
But he's also scored the last goal in 3 of his last 4 games at Villa Park. So he's got, runs on the board at the track. $2.30 to score. Get around it. Let's go, Harry.
I'm not going to do that against my beloved Aston Villa.
Who's your favourite player from Aston Villa?
Aston?
Aston Martin?
It's Ollie. It's Ollie.
Oh, yeah. Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
Love Ollie Watkins.
The gun up front.
Right, there you go. That's not a bad one. Harry Kane. I'm going to go out and score some goals.
That's what he does. That's nice.
That's all he does. Shame Tottenham can't win anything.
Matching game picks. Any game-based bets? I'm just going to do my over-unders for these 2 big playoff games tomorrow. Game 6, Knicks at Heat. Going the over. Watch out. It's a bit of a weird one because I feel like there's a smashing for somebody involved, and I'm still not entirely clear who it could be. The weird thing is with these low lines, we've actually seen the last couple of games not be wildly high scoring. It's like 112, 103, 109, 110, 109, 101 rather. And they're all sort of hitting that just slightly over the line, which has been 09, 08. I think one of them was like 06.
Yep.
Or 07 at least. So I think out of the last 4 that in this series, three of them have gone that over. So I'm going to have to go the over just because it feels like there's just enough scope for like a 111, 106 kind of game, and then I'll put you over, obviously. So it just feels like one of these teams is hitting that 110-ish mark almost every game. I think we've had, if I look at it right now, over the last 5, we've had one team get to 108, 111, 105, 109, and 112. So it literally just needs one other team to step up. And the time that it didn't is when the Heat absolutely obliterated the Knicks. So that's my one worry, because that was in Miami. And that was 105-86, and it was an absolute demo job. But I think there's enough in this one. I think this one's closer than that game too. So I think this goes right down to the wire, and I think it goes over. That's $1.90 with Ladbrokes. Warriors, Lakers. The Lakers. 221. It's a tough line because
that's big, yeah.
If you look at these games as well, like 221, you've had the 2 Lakers wins out of the last 3 games, right? They've gone under the 221. And the win that the Warriors had in game 5, that's gone over. The win that the Warriors had in game, I'm going to say 2, that went over. And it's like, all right, so this is basically who you want to win.
Yeah.
Like, if you want the Lakers to win, it's the under. If you want the Warriors to win, it's going to go over.
Yeah, right.
Simple as that. Because that Warriors defense just hasn't proven that it can really, like, if they're going to put the hammer down on the Lakers, like, they still just get enough points. But that Warriors offense just always clicks into a higher gear and just, like, blasts them off the court. Because I think the 2 games that they've won, the last 4, it was a 27-point deficit in game, I want to say 2 again. And then in game 5, it was a 15-point game. So I think the Lakers are going to win this at home, so I'm going to go the under. I think it's the Lakers defense that steps up. Their role players score enough to get them the win, and the Warriors just kind of outside of maybe Steph and Clay. I just found wanting because on the road, they stink. That's how it goes. I'm going to go the under, 221. I don't feel great about it, but you look at those numbers, you go, yeah, that's kind of what happens. So how about you there, Stutch Guy? What's your game pick there, pal?
As I talked about before, Celtic taking on Rangers in the Scottish Premiership. I'm actually going to an event in Richmond with the Melbourne Celtic Supporters Club. Thousands of Celtic supporters going around Richmond, which is pretty cool.
Thousands?
Oh, there's a couple of thousand in the group, and like there's a few pubs in that area. There's a main one that I think there's about 150, 200 people are in, then there'll be more scattered everywhere around sort of Richmond.
250 last time I checked, there's not 1,000.
No, it's hyperbole there, Stats Guy.
But in terms of the comments and things in this group, it seems like there's going to be people all out and about when there's thousands of people in the group. Anyway.
I demand a head count.
Yeah.
All right, done. But yeah, Celtic taking on Rangers. Celtic in this Old Firm derby they've unbeaten in the last 8 meetings with Rangers with 5 wins and 3 draws. So in the past, it was always gone Celtic Rangers. But since Ange, Aussie managers come on board, they've absolutely dominated this derby. And Celtic have got the Leeds leading goal scorer, Kyogo Furuhashi. He's been on fire. Got Jota, as I mentioned before. And you've got Aaron Moy, the Aussie, who's absolutely tearing it up over there. Another guy who used to be in the Premier League, Moy. He's got 14 goal contributions this season. Still think he could easily be in the Premier League as well. He's been dominating. So they've just got class all around. It was good for Brighton back in the day, but yeah, he took a pay packet to go to China and then he went back to Scotland, but that's okay.
Brighton? I thought he was at Huddersfield.
And then he was at Brighton. He was their leading assists for a season at Brighton.
And look how Brighton are going now.
I know, they don't need it. But yeah, Celtic just have dominated this matchup in the last year or two. They've also won 2 of their last 3 away at Ibrox, which is Rangers' home ground. Used to be a really feared place to play. And actually, with all the mayhem and chaos that this derby has, they can't have away fans in the stadium at the moment, which I think that's why the odds are always swung a little bit to the home team because, they just don't want any chaos there. So Celtic, for a team that hasn't lost to Rangers in 8 games, head-to-head at $2.32, I think is an amazing bet. The other thing, when the games get closer, for some reason, Celtic's odds always drop in below $2, like happened last game and the week before. So just, if you want to get on that, get on it early because all the Celtic supporters load up just before the game, I think.
All right, the value is now.
Yeah, so jump on now, $2.32.
Good stuff. Alex, what about you?
Yeah, Brentford take on West Ham this weekend in the EPL. Both teams are sort of nothing to play for, really. They're sweet for next season. They're not going to make Europe, then, whatever. So you look at this, and West Ham, they played this morning, so overnight in England. They played in the Europa Conference League, and they battled to beat AZ Alkmaar, who are 4th in the Dutch Eredivisie. So kind of a drop in form, and you had to struggle to beat them. And so the quick backup on a Sunday afternoon in London to take on Brentford, who were really good last week in a great kit matchup against Liverpool.
Yes.
Now, you take note, Brentford have never lost to West Ham in the EPL. I know it's only 3 games, but you're 3 from 3, pretty good starting point. You also look at Brentford's record at home this season, 8-7-2. Their 2 losses have been to Newcastle and Arsenal. So that's, second and third. That's pretty good. West Ham this season away are 3-3-11. Their wins have been against Fulham, Bournemouth, and the Stevie G managed Aston Villa. So not that great form.
Not the Emery, man. Yeah, good call.
Yeah, Brentford at $2.05. This is a great bet. Really keen to get around that at that price. I thought that'd be much shorter than that.
Nice. I love the bees. Yeah, at home. That's awesome.
That blue kit of theirs. Mwah.
Yeah, they should just wear that at home as well.
Handy year for Brentford. Good on them.
Yeah.
Right, best bets for today, tomorrow, the weekend. Couple of really good game 6s. But
Awesome.
they are so tough to pick, these ones.
I know.
The lines, look, the Knicks plus 5.5 against the Heat. I just sort of land there. I think elimination games, I've talked about this before, the under. But I think there's, with the line that total points at, the 08 and 208.5, just a little bit tight. But I think the Knicks can keep this one close. It's, again, I think I talked about this in game, I want to say 4. If the Heat win, they're going to blow them out. But if the Knicks are right there, they can cover that line and win the actual game. So the plus 5.5, the $1.92 for Top Sport, I really, really like that. The Knicks on the road were like one of the better teams in the NBA all season. The weirdest part is they've been horrible on the road in the playoffs. So apart from when they went to Cleveland, but the overall season total, they were 26-20 just head to head.
Yeah,
but against the line, 27-17. And 2 to date against a Heat team that's 19-25, which is 25th in the NBA this season. Now, there were 4 teams in the NBA not trying this season, so that's basically dead last.
That's true, yeah.
So against the line, look, I think if the Heat win this, it could be a blowout, but if not, I think the Knicks cover that line of the 5.5 and probably win it. I think you might get a big Randall bounce-back game, not in front of his loving, adoring home crowd. Goal.
Yeah.
Here we go.
When they're winning.
And it could be a big Jimmy Butler game, but again, this is just so tough to predict with the player props in a game 6 in Miami. So I've sort of been leaning on that idea of the Heat at home kind of stunk all year, and like we've seen the shooting be amazing, but I just feel like there's got to be one weird wonky game where it just gets a bit sideways on them. And the Knicks could do that. The defense could just crank it up. And if they do, bang, away you go. And then game 6, Warriors-Lakers, as I sort of mentioned, I think the Lakers win this. Andrew Wiggins is dealing with like a rib fracture?
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yep.
Cartilage fracture thing. And it sounds horrible. And you're like,
torn rib cartilage is the worst.
Yeah, that'd be horrible, yeah.
Just imagine trying to go against LeBron James and Anthony Davis with a busted rib.
Yeah.
No thank you.
But I thought AD was dead after getting wheeled out yesterday.
He's all right, apparently. I can't believe he got wheeled out in a wheelchair and he's going to play.
Fractured eyelash. The Lakers are 2.5-point favorites. I'm on the Lakers. I don't like it. This Warriors team does still have a punch to throw, but just without Wiggins there to slow down like LeBron and that size up the front, like the amount of rebounding that Wiggins has done over the last couple of games has been absolutely psycho. Unless they get a huge loony game where he just like gets 23 boards and like Draymond backs up his awesome game last game where he had 20 and 10. I just can't quite see the Warriors getting over the top of this Lakers team that's really deep. I think Stats Guy made a point about that in tomorrow's paper.
Yep.
They're deeper. They play better at home. I'm going to have to go the Lakers minus 2.5. $1.91 with bet 365. I'd probably look without Wiggins there. I think this is a big LeBron statement game of like, that's cute that AD's been carrying us so far, but check this out. Bang, 38-8 on your head. So I like the Lakers. I don't like it, but here I am. And if I'm going to throw in my AFL multi, I do love this Lions midfield of madness multi up at the Gabba. I'm going to run rings around the Bombers. Will Ashcroft, 25+ disposals. Dunkley, 25+. Lockie Neal, 25+. Hugh McCluggage, 20+.
Yeah.
That's $5.50 just for those 4.
That's awesome.
I love that because Neal, look, he's gone for 27+ in 14 of the last 15 at home. He's our favourites. Dunkley has gone 25+ in the last 5 home games. Will Ashcroft was quiet last week, but in his last 3 at the Gabba has gone over 26. And McCluggage, 13 straight times at home he's gone for 20 plus. So I kind of love that. Just those midfielders, I think, without, who did I say, Ridley, Parrish, and Kelly in that midfield.
Big outs, especially Parrish in the midfield, yeah.
I think Brisbane will be dictating this game. So there we go.
Nice.
$5.50. That was with better. So what do we got for you, Stats Guy?
I'm going to double down on the Lakers. You just talked them up. I think they're going to get another win and finish off the series against the Warriors. As you mentioned, we were talking about AD, and he got a big head knock last game, but apparently he's been cleared to play and didn't even have a concussion. I don't know that or that, but he's been their barometer this series. When he goes big, they win.
Dude got taken off in a wheelchair.
I
It's like, nah, I don't have a concussion though. It's like, well, why are you in the wheelchair?
I was in the wheelchair. It was like I had flashbacks to Paul Pierce back in the day with that infamous incident.
Didn't have a dookie in his pants though.
That's true. I still can't believe that came out.
Assumably, he might have.
He might have. We don't know. Maybe it'll come out in 10 years.
How dare you assume that?
Maybe a bit of head trauma, just turtle heads it out the other way and away you go. It's like one of those clowns where you hit it on the top of their head and its nose pops out. That's what happened with Anthony Davis.
Maybe. It wouldn't surprise me. But yeah, he's been their barometer in their wins in this series.
I hate the word barometer.
Oh, I like it because if you're like barometer sort of player, maybe not your best player every game, but when he plays well, Lakers win, especially against
that dude from the Brisbane Lions. He's getting a game in the VFL.
He nicknamed himself Matheson the barometer. I'm calling him the barometer here. He's averaging 26 and 17 rebounds in this series when they win. And I just think, as you mentioned, James, I was talking about the depth of the Lakers. Got Lonnie Walker, who randomly went off for 15 points in the last quarter. In Game 4, he was awesome. And you got Austin Reeves since the start of 2023. He's averaging 16 points. You compare that to the Warriors' depth of Jordan Poole, who used to be like their third star. He's averaging 8 points in this series. He's been shooting bricks, absolutely horrible. So I just really like the Lakers here just because of that. They're relying on Steph and Clay too much. If Steph doesn't get you 40 points, I don't think they're going to win this one. They've also lost their last 8 games at the Crypto.com Arena, which is Lakers' home stadium. And then you go to the other record. They've the third worst away team in the league still. So, and then probably other teams are those teams that were like tanking and things like that. So they're pretty close to the worst team in the league away. So that's why I think the Warriors can still keep it close because it's such a big game. But Lakers will take this out 1 to 10 points. I reckon it'll be under 10 points, $2.82 on better.
I've got a sneaking suspicion. So you talk about the depth. Rui Hachimura has had really big games this playoff run, and I feel like he's the sort of dude, if they get up and they just absolutely sort of Lakers avalanche them, he'll be like
he can go
that too.
Yeah, good call, yeah.
I'd sort of look at him, maybe that sort of 9-10 plus points and like 2 or 3 threes in the game as well.
Yeah.
It's also just great to see the Carolina Hurricanes win their overtime game against the Devils because I believe one of their players used his wang to knock the puck into the net.
Really?
The goal in overtime.
That's impressive.
All right, Alex, you got a donation for us?
Yes, the donation, the time-honoured donation. Hopefully Gerald's got the song to play in before we got it, aka the one that James sang.
I forgot about that.
I love this song.
So it's kicking off tonight in the AFL. So if you've missed out on 2 of the games tonight, I'll throw in an extra one for you down the bottom. But Geelong minus 14.5, Gold Coast minus 15.5, Port Adelaide minus 29.5, Melbourne Demons minus 36.5, Brisbane Lions by 16 points or more, then a couple of EPL games, Newcastle and Man City to win. That'll get you $30.74.
That's awesome.
With our friends at Ladbrokes. If you are listening to this on Saturday morning and no Geelong and Gold Coast, throw Brentford in to win against West Ham, as mentioned earlier.
Yeah, $2 for Brentford is awesome value.
Tell me how it loses.
I feel like Port Adelaide are going to screw me somehow.
Yeah, they'll smash us. They'll smash
the line is a bit frustrating. Like the Kangaroos do have that sort of weird tendency.
They're alternate lines at least, so it's like I'm not going all the way. But yeah,
nice one. $30 multi.
I don't mind that. That's your
weekend up.
Yeah. And also, it won't be on the podcast, but Lipstick Swing runs at $3.35 Friday afternoon. She'll be hard to beat each way at $7.
Better get my phone out.
Yeah, same. That's not for the listener. That's for us.
Oh, well.
All right, there you go. Code Bet Daily done for today and for the week. We will have the stats guy for a couple more days next week, and then he is out of here. But we'll be back on deck on Monday. So get right around the show, subscribe in your podcast app. Of course, remember, listen to the AFL, the EPL, and the NRL shows. We do put a lot of effort into these.
We do.
Actually do.
Give it a crack. Like, review, and star all of them. Give us a comment, chuck in some questions, anything you need to, and follow us across all the socials, obviously. YouTube, Facey, IG, Twitter, TikTok, all the good stuff. It's right there. Send in any questions, any abuse, just direct that at Alex.
Fine.
He turned into a snake this week. That was pretty gnarly. I was sick as a dog and he was a snake. It was a very weird situation. But either way, fun week, gnarly weekend ahead. Stats guy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Give us a shout out to your nan. And Alex, thank you.
Yeah, cheers. See you at the MCC tonight, Stats guy.
I will.
You're
in the bull ring.
It's good. You got your mic actually going nicely in this one. I like that. Thanks as always for all the hard work that he does behind the scenes. Gerald, he had a massive week this week and he's done great work. So good job, Geraldinho. All right, and thanks to me because I'm just a legend. All right, what do we say, Stats guy?
Gamble responsibly.
Good job. May all your picks come in. Happy punting. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you on Monday. Co-Bet Daily, out.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.